Welcome to the 5 o'clock Panther News. I'm your host, Neriah Ajanaku, and today we will be learning about World War II technologies. Danny Jones is there right now with the director, Vivian Smalls, at the Downtown World War II Museum.
Hello, Panthers. Welcome to today's segment of Panther News. And today we're taking a great tour of the World War II Museum. So, join me as we view this wondrous sight. So, who am I here with today?
I'm Vivian Smalls. I'm the director here at the World War II Museum.
What do you have in store for us here?
Today we will be talking about the great inventions made during the World War II era.
Great. How about we get started with this tour then?
Okay, come on this way.
Now, what's first up on this tour?
This is the flu vaccine. The outbreak of the influenza virus began to take a major toll on the America's war effort in World War II. This motivated the U.S. to start working on the vaccine for the flu. First, they started to isolate the flu viruses. The U.S. approved the first flu vaccine for military use in 1945 and for the civilian use in 1946.
Wow, that's incredible. That must have saved so many lives.
It in fact did.
Okay. Now, what on earth is this?
This is synthetic rubber. In the beginning of 1942, Japan took 90% control of the world's natural rubber supply and 97% of American supply in Southeast Asia during Japan's invasion of the South Pacific territory. Synthetic rubber is a man-made elastomer. Similar to natural rubber, synthetic rubber has several applications in the automobile sector, such as door and window profiles, seals such as O-rings and gaskets, hoses, belts, matting, and flooring. This majorly helped our economy, and we wouldn't have won the war without it.
Incredible, incredible. Now, moving on. What do we have here?
This is penicillin. Penicillin is a very important medicine. Manufacturing penicillin for a soldier was a major priority for the U.S. War Department, which touted the effort as a race against death in one poster. Military surgeons were amazed by how the drug reduced pain, it increased the chance of survival, and penicillin made it easier for nurses and doctors to care for soldiers on the battlefield. The U.S. considered the drug so critical to the war effort that, to prepare for the D-Day landings, the country produced 2.3 million doses of penicillin for the Allied troops.
Wow, incredible. Medicine in that time was just so revolutionary. What do we have here?
Right here we have the V-2 rocket. The V-2 rocket was made by Germany. It was created by a German scientist, Werner von Braun. It was fired against Paris on September 6, 1944. 2 days later, more than 1,100 V-2 rockets were fired against Great Britain. It was also used in Belgium attacks, and about 5,000 people died in V-2 attacks.
That's horrible. Horrible. Wow. So many deaths. So many casualties. What do we have here?
This is the radar. The first practical radar system was produced in 1935 by British physicist Sir Robert Watson Watt. And by 1939, England had built a network of radar stations along its south and east coast. MIT's Radiation Laboratory, otherwise known as the RAD Lab, played a huge role in advancing radar technologies in the 1940s. However, the lab's original goal was to use electromagnetic radiation as a weapon, not as a form of detection. Radar helped the Allied forces detect enemy ships and planes. Later, it proved to have many non-military uses, including guiding civilian crafts and detecting major weather events like hurricanes.
Wow. Incredible scientific introduction to the world. Next up is some serious heat. What do we have here?
Yeah, this is the atomic bomb. It was perhaps the largest leap in technology during World War II. The atomic bomb was a bomb that created a massive explosion by using nuclear reactions. It was used by the United States, ordered by President Truman, to bomb the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Wow. So many deaths probably from that bomb. Oh, I guess we're coming over here. What do we have here?
This is the jet engine. Frank Whittle, an English engineer with the Royal Air Force, filed the first patent for the jet engine in 1930. The British government developed planes based on Whittle's designs. The first Allied plane to use jet propulsion took flight on May 15, 1941. Jet planes could go faster than propeller planes, yet also required a lot more fuels and were more difficult to handle. Though they were still early in their development, jet engines would later transfer both military and civilian transportation.
Wow. Now, what do we have here?
This is the Enigma machine. It was created in the 1930s and 40s, and the Germans used it to encode strategic messages before and during World War II. So this later leads us to the next invention, which is a Colossus computer. So let's go over it.
Okay.
This is a Colossus computer. During World War II, the United States began to develop new machines to do calculations for ballistic trajectories, and those who have been doing computations by hand took jobs programming these machines. In Britain, Alan Turing invented an electromechanical machine called the bomb that helped break the German Enigma cipher. While not technically what we call a computer now, the bomb was a forerunner to the Colossus machines, a series of British electronic computers. Okay, so this was the last invention before our commercial break. But when we get back, we will talk about one final technology during World War II.
How do you like that rationing? Make sure you keep up with your products and ration them because they help our soldiers.
Welcome back from our commercial break. I hope you had a wonderful time viewing that great video. Now, for our final invention.
We have the blood transfusion.
Come with us.
During World War II, the use of blood plasma was an essential component of treating wounded soldiers. When a soldier was wounded, blood loss was extremely dangerous. But the main concern wasn't the loss of oxygen carrying the blood cells. The main concern was the low blood pressure. By transfusing casualties with plasma, blood volume maintained and blood pressure remains at a normal level, preventing shock. Because the red blood cells are removed from plasma, a specific blood type wasn't needed. In addition, dry plasma can be stored for long periods of time, so this really helped when it came to treating soldiers.
I'm sure it did. Wow. Well, that's all for today, folks, with our tour of the World War II Museum. I hope you had an incredible time watching this segment, and this is Danny Jones, leaving you with Panther News.
Thank you, Danny. Those were technologies made and used during World War II. Thank you for tuning in, and that was Panther News.